And welcome to another edition of Completely Unoriginal. I am Adam St. Paul, joined by Tony Zur and Kurt Campbell. And
Hello.
we have a special surprise simply because Mr. Zur is actually in the studio with us today.
Hey, how's it going?
You dropped in on us.
I stopped. I had to. I got some meetings here, and I was like, I need to fill my windshield wiper fluid, and I was right outside the studio. I was like, hey, I should just pop in there really quick.
Well,
Good idea.
For those listening, Tony is from Redfield, South Dakota, which is about 40 miles south of Aberdeen. So he usually talks to us via the telephone, but in this case, he is good enough to be here with us.
This is only your second time live on the show in person, I think.
Third.
Third?
Third. Yeah,
Okay.
I did once in here, and then I popped in during the Gambit talk in there.
Okay, that's
And
right.
now-
Yeah, that's right.
And now
Yeah.
and now I'm back.
Excellent.
So we'll begin, guys. You know, I think what we wanted to talk about this week is kind of specific to Deadpool, which is an R-rated, weird meta comic book movie. And from everything, I have not seen it yet. None of us have seen it
None of
yet.
us have seen it
Nope.
yet. Yeah.
So we're not going to actually be talking about the movie itself. We're going to see it, I think. I know I am. But it's getting just great reviews, and it's kind of a critique on the state of comic book movies that we have in today's day and age.
Fans are eating it up with a spoon. It's just so popular
Yes.
right now.
It's
I
all-
even saw the Ultimate Deadpool last night, and I don't know how they managed to work in Deadpool into a kid-friendly Marvel animated series, but they did it.
Well, I mean, you could do Deadpool, but not be, for the kids, I guess. A
Yeah,
little bit.
it's
And that's
hard,
a
though.
good way to do it.
Yeah.
I just think it's refreshing to see Marvel come out with something that's, I don't know, Marvel movies
This
are just
isn't Marvel, though. This isn't the studio.
Well,
it's not the studio,
but
but,
it is-
it's Marvel characters. I know it's Fox versus Disney and stuff, but I'm just happy to see.
I think you'd be hard pressed to get Disney to release.
Right?
No,
and
they never do
I
it.
actually went and looked that up last night. I was like, did Disney release this movie, or is this because I know that like Colossus is a part of the Fox, the Fox franchise and everything. But I'm just happy to see Marvel movies are all they're just so punched out like McDonald's these days. And I was ever since Avengers, the first Avengers, they've just been kind of on a flat scale for me. And so I'm happy to see some different takes on Marvel characters.
Absolutely. And that's kind of what I think I want to talk about, in the fact that you guys remember a little film called Batman Begins, right?
Yep.
That then spiraled off into The Dark Knight.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was the seminal comic book movie, the Batman film, Christopher Nolan, of course, with Heath Ledger as the Joker, that set off a giant wave of comic book movies in Hollywood. They got to be dark, they got to be gritty, they got to be realistic, they got to be all of these things, punch these off the list, everything like that. And that's why you end up with the Fan Force stick as well when it's all said and done. But anyway, my question is, Fox as a studio, and I have read this, did not want to make this movie.
Nope.
They didn't want to risk an R rating for a comic book movie. Thought no one would go see it. Deadpool is kind of an obscure, weird character in the comic book universe, especially weird with his fourth wall breaking and everything like that. However, Ryan Reynolds, he denies it, but he pretty much leaked the footage, that test footage back years ago with him in the costume and everything. Went over like gangbusters, on the internet and everything. They make the movie. It's a huge hit. My question to you guys is, how long is it before Hollywood all of a sudden says, oh, look at that, and starts just chugging out a bunch of R-rated comic book movies?
Summer 2017.
Well, yeah, Suicide Squad's R, isn't it?
No,
that's
it's a PG-13.
Are you guys kidding?
Well, they don't want to go that dark.
Oh my god!
Which you can't fault them for that. This
Right,
is,
yeah.
they want to. The PG-13 audience is considerably the biggest money-making audience.
Well, what's weird about Deadpool is like when I bought my kids the Lego Marvel superheroes for the PlayStation 3.
Right.
All of a sudden my kids are like, I want Deadpool, and Deadpool is like this big thing, and it's such a just this juggernaut of something that just comes out of nowhere. And my kids all of a sudden are just like, I love Deadpool and I want to watch the Deadpool movie. I'm like, you can't watch the Deadpool movie.
Not until you're 17 years old.
I didn't know what it was going to be, and so I let them watch the first trailer with me, and about 20 seconds in, I was like, oh, we're going to shut this off.
Nope.
Very violent and vulgar, and that's what
That's
what
what
the
it's
movie
supposed
is.
to be,
That
though.
is, yes, that is from what I hear what the movie is. It's violent, it's vulgar, and
Funny,
yes, and probably vulgar funny and everything like that as well. But no, I could just imagine execs now over at Fox who do not they have a mediocre track record with comic book movies.
Yeah.
I mean, say what you will about Marvel, Tony, the studio actually,
Right.
in that every one of them is kind of flatlined, but it's colorful, it's entertaining, and I don't feel like I wasted my time watching the second Thor movie.
Right.
All right, that's fine.
Everyone I've seen has entertained me.
Yeah, I guess you might have a different opinion on the second Thor movie because it isn't great, but I'm just throwing that out there. With Fox, they have to answer for the likes of Van Forest Stick, the first two other Fantastic Four movies.
Wait, what was that a Fox movie or was that Sony?
No, that was Fox.
Oh, okay, okay.
And there's a couple more. Too.
Sony did really well at first with the first two Spider-Man Sam Raimi efforts.
Yeah,
but then 3 happened, and we all know where it went from there.
Yeah.
X-Men Origins Wolverine is another one that's a Fox product that really was not very
Well, I'm guessing
good.
The Last Stand too.
The Last Stand is
The
another
Last Stand
one.
was awful.
So,
X-Men 3 was terrible. Thanks, Brett Ratner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're like I said. So they have a mixed track record when it comes, but at least when it comes to Marvel, they're even keeled. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
So it's a big move for Fox to succeed like this. I guess we'll put it that way with this big risk that they're taking.
Yeah, I just I hope that the movies start becoming a little bit more, because like I said, they're just churned out these days, and I'm glad that, because here's my thing is, like we just said, Deadpool's not for kids.
No.
But when I was a kid, RoboCop was for kids.
No.
They even marketed
They totally marketed that.
No, the character, not the movie.
It was rated R, so it wasn't geared towards kids, but they did have the marketing. They had the toys.
Oh, yeah,
they had the
Alien toys, Terminator toys,
Yep.
all these different kinds of things that were marketed to kids, and hey, we turned out great. Or at least me and you did.
well.
You're a little bit. You were what in your teens or 20s when RoboCop came out?
Me? What was the year? 86?
sounds right.
80s.
85.
It was 86. I was about 15.
Yeah, so I mean,
So
that
I was the perfect age for RoboCop.
well, but I'm just saying that maybe. Maybe,
Or no, it was
maybe
a
our
little
kids
later than
need some
86.
Deadpool in their lives.
I sometimes I struggle with that a little bit. You know?
yeah.
That's
Because I know what I watched when I was a kid.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
That's
That's another story entirely.
That's something too with this Deadpool movie, in that and granted they haven't really carried any steam, so it's not like we have to talk a ton on it. But there are like GoFundMe pages or Kickstarters, I don't know what it may be, petitions to have the studio release a PG-13 version of the movie so that kids can see it and whatnot. And I'm just like, that to me, yeah, okay.
Watch it on an airplane if that's what it's because they'll edit the crap out of it for the airplanes.
But then again, you have to think, like, I was ticked off when Live Free or Die Hard was released in theaters under a PG-13 rating. But then they released the unrated version onto DVD and stuff, and I actually thought to myself, it's actually not a bad idea for movies like that, because
is that the latest one?
No, that's
There's
terrible.
one with Timothy Oliphant and
Kevin Smith
Long.
and Justin Long. I mean, I think that there's kind of a market for that because, like, Live Free or Die Hard, it was a decent action movie and everything, and I have like the unrated, or you can watch the PG-13 copy on my DVD.
Right.
And my kids and I watch that together, and they think it's shoot 'em up, bang bang, blow 'em up, and there's no F-bombs, there's not a lot of blood and everything, and some part of me kind of thinks that maybe the world could use something like that.
I guess I get it, probably because you are a father.
But not with Deadpool.
Well, but see, here's the thing, though, Kurt, because, I was I was siding with you, but Tony might have swayed me here because I think you just mentioned how they have Ultimate Deadpool, the cartoon. How do you make it for kids?
So why not give the kids their own version of Deadpool, and why alter the artistic vision of the director and the filmmaker of the R-rated Deadpool just so a kid can see it?
Well, and I understand that when it comes to Deadpool, but I'm just saying, like, for future reference, it'd be cool if directors were on board with something like that, to where they could make a version that was raw and real and gritty for us.
It would really have to depend on the project.
It'd have to depend on the director, too, his willingness to. Because
some people have a vision. Quentin
think,
Tarantino isn't going to make a PG-13 version of his films just to satisfy teenagers who want to see Quentin Tarantino movies.
Right.
So you gotta look at the film and the filmmaker too.
Absolutely. I'm both ways. I'm with you, Kurt. But then again, as a dad, it's like some of these movies. I would love to watch The Watchmen with my kids. You know?
Yeah, that big blue thing that we all know about probably would be one reason not to, but
But that's the thing is like if you there is a version of that where his Peter's covered up, and that and there's some scenes where I've actually showed my kids from that where his Peter's covered up, and then I have like the ultimate director's extended.
I've never seen
4-hour
that, by
cut.
the way.
It's really cool because they actually they infuse an animated comic book. This kid reading a comic book during the movie, and it goes back to him, and he keeps reading this comic book about this pirate that is shipwrecked out in
the Scarlet something.
Yeah,
or
man,
other.
it was really cool because you could kind of see where that story kind of intertwined with the Watchmen and everything. And
I see now. I don't want to get on a Zack/Hack Snyder rant because
Hack Snyder, thank
we'll
you.
go all day. But I having never read the comics, I liked the Watchmen movie a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And so I need to get that 5-hour cut. and
oh,
watch that
it's
one of these
amazing,
days.
man. And you get to see the death of the original Night Owl. They don't show you that in the original.
Well,
movie
there's so
and
much
stuff,
in the
and-
there's so much they had to leave out
Yeah.
just for time's sake and
And I think
budgetary
more
sake.
movies need to be like that. I think that Quentin Tarantino should be able to release his 4-hour Hateful Eight that he wanted to release. or
Yeah,
what have
and
you,
I agree with that. That's why I love those expanded Lord of the Rings releases, where you
Maybe
get
I'd
at least
actually
an
like
extra
those.
you get at least an extra half hour of movie in there. And I thought Peter Jackson did a great job with the original trilogy with those.
So 72 more endings.
I'm fine with that. I don't care. I'm fine with that.
To go back to
But anyway, Deadpool.
Yeah, to go back to what we were... No, that was a really good discussion there. But to go back to what we were talking about, though, when you do, the R-rated comic book movies, I was thinking about it a little bit further and doing some research while you guys were talking there. There is an instance where this did not work. I mean, it was a great movie, but it did not work box office, and maybe that's why Fox was scared, and that was the remake of Dredd.
Oh yeah.
That's a hard R-rated movie.
But to be fair,
tons and tons of violence, and it's awesome.
yeah.
That's a great movie.
You pounding the mic stand there.
Sorry, yeah. It's a great movie, but it did not do well.
No,
box office.
it didn't. But look at how bad the PG-13 sanitized Sylvester Stallone Judge Dredd was.
I think that is actually what...
That's the crime that killed Dredd.
That's what caved
did it.
the Dredd movie and was Stallone's Dredd.
So, in other words, I think because obviously what they did with they found a character in Deadpool who would be perfect for this fourth wall breaking, meta,
self-aware comic book character,
very violent and gritty, whatever you want to call it, a R-rated comic book star.
Right.
And I'm just thinking of other ones that if you're gonna go and do it right. Don't turn the Fantastic Four into a gritty horror film like what they tried to do.
Wow.
Actually find a character who, actually find a story that is geared towards that. An idea, I would think, if you... Did you ever see Constantine?
Yeah.
Which is
No,
based on...
I didn't. I
based
heard it wasn't
on the
very
Alan
good.
Moore
so I skipped.
Hellblazer.
Yeah, the Hellblazer comic series is amazing.
Yes, but... and I think, and that's again, they toned down the violence and whatnot for PG-13. They kicked
And
out
put
a lot of...
Keanu in there.
I like Keanu.
I like him too, but he's not right for everything.
Yes,
and that's
that-
one thing he was definitely not right for.
But
he's
that-
perfect for John Wick, but not for that.
I would like to see that. I think that could make a hard R gritty comic book movie and do really well. I think there's a comic book out there called Preacher.
I've heard
which
it, yeah.
is very...
Didn't they make a film of that too?
No, they did not. That's very dark. And
I've heard they've made a film of Preacher.
I don't believe so. I think it's been kicked around a lot. but
Okay.
Priest.
Oh, Priest is what I'm thinking
Priest
of.
No,
yeah.
Preacher is different.
Jar-
I think
starring
that's going to be a
Jarvis.
TV series or something.
Yeah. Those are a couple of them just right off the top of my head, and I'm trying to think of some more that would work, I guess. You probably could get away with, I know we've talked about on this show a little bit, when it comes to the last Wolverine movie. He's kind of saying what we should do, and there's rumor they're going to do Old Man Logan, and if you've ever seen that is not a pretty comic book. Logan is a haggard old man who can't die, basically,
Yeah,
or is
essentially.
living his life, and the world is a hellscape of nuclear holocaust and mutants and things like that. So that one, if you wanted to go that route, which they wouldn't with Wolverine, I mean, that one you got to let the kids go.
No,
in
they
and see.
are.
But
It's going to be R. Or at least I just read it on comicbook.com the other day that Hugh Jackman and the studio are really pushing for an R rating on it.
if that's the case, then that I would have a lot of respect for them. But I
Yep.
just can't imagine with a character like Wolverine, who
Well,
has
but
so
he's-
much name recognition and so much just things surrounding it.
And you and I, I think with the success of Deadpool, they might be more willing to do that. So that will work in their favor if they try to push harder for an R rating. And the other movie, but real quick before I forget, that you and I were discussing, even though there's stank on earlier versions of the character, an R-rated Punisher film is a slam dunk, I think, if you do it right.
Was the original one not like
With
the Dolph?
Dolph?
No, not that one. They made another one with John Travolta as the bad guy in the early 2000s. Was that one rated?
I don't remember.
There's the dude that plays one of Thor's cronies played him.
Yeah, I can't place
Sam something or another.
It was a 2004 film by the looks of it.
But it didn't get any major release.
Yes, it did.
Did it?
There was a straight to DVD one that was starred a UFC fighter that did not get a theatrical release. But I'm looking here.
While you're looking that up, I just have to say this about the X-Men movies and Wolverine is that it's progressively gotten to the point where they need to make it R. Because I remember watching X2, and there's that scene where the SWAT team's storming the mansion in the middle of the night, and Wolverine takes out a ton of dudes.
Yeah.
And I remember watching him shove those blades into that guy's chest. And I was just like, whoa, this is PG-13 here, guys. You just stab that dude in the heart. And then you have X-Men First Class, go fuck yourself. He says that in a PG-13 movie. And then
you're allowed one
F-bomb.
Exactly. But I'm just saying, and then the next one, we have one F-bomb that Xavier goes back and says, "This is what you said to me, so I'm going to say it to you." And then I don't have a 13-year-old son, but hey, my 13-year-olds get to see Hugh Jackman's buttocks. So
if they have to see a guy's butt, at least it's Hugh Jackman.
Well, I'm just saying that we're slowly progressing towards. I mean, an R rating. They can't do much more. That's
the X-Men is a fairly maturely themed comic series. As the modern X-Men is.
The 2004 Punisher film was an R-rated Punisher.
Oh, okay.
Film.
Well, they just messed that one up then.
I was gonna say I don't disagree with you though that would be a fun character to go back to and see if you couldn't get a better film.
I just think there's too much stank on the franchise cinematically for that to work now.
Punisher, they are going to have, if they want to do a Punisher movie, they want to do it with that John Bernthal guy from The Walking Dead, and I just think that guy looks like a penis. But I do. I don't like that guy as an actor. But if they want to actually do a Punisher movie and actually want to get Deadpool money from it, they need to hire the actors to do it. It's got to be like Tom Hardy in there as Punisher.
I was gonna say
that would work.
Certainly, the guy that they cast is not a major star for that Punisher film. Probably no one would do it back then. 2004 comic book movies were not what they are today. And then John Travolta was the villain.
That's hit or miss.
Can John Travolta really play a villain?
That's hit or miss.
Not in Battlefield Earth, he can't.
I mean, if you think about it, Pulp Fiction, he was pretty much a villain.
He was a bad guy. But he was a sympathetic bad guy.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that
he read a lot.
That's the character is
He's a crook,
different.
but a sympathetic
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I love Swordfish.
Oh,
I didn't care for Swordfish.
You guys like Swordfish?
There's only one thing to like. Well, there are two things to like in Swordfish, and I'll leave it at that.
There's no point.
There's no point. But boy, it's nice that it's there.
Come on,
if you're a fan of
bank robbing scene, dude. That opening bank robbing scene. Come on, dude.
Halle Berry showing topless.
That's the only reason to watch it.
Other than, hey, we'll get people in the seats, and hey, you want to do this? Here's some extra money.
I liked it when she was golfing and she hikes up her skirt in front of Hugh Jackman, and I was like, hey, yeah, I'm a butt guy.
For sure.
Just not Hugh Jackman's apparently from that movie.
Oh no, his is phenomenal.
Okay, good, because his is pretty great.
I'd touch it, just poke it.
Excuse me, Mr.
just
Jackman.
once.
No, don't touch me bum.
You're Hugh Jackman.
He doesn't have that thick ass.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, but with as much musicals as that guy does, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be the first guy that grabbed his butt. I'm just saying.
There are rumors. We are not here to further rumors.
Yes, we've hit our mark, guys. It's always fun to chat with you. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you next week.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, and make sure you come in and check me out next Tuesday. I don't even know what the date is on that. But it's the next Tuesday.
At Slackers?
Yeah, at Slackers doing open mic or stand up and stuff. And then also on the 10th of March, I'm actually doing a paying gig at the Brass Kettle in Aberdeen. So that should be fun.
Awesome. Cool. So make sure to check that out. And once again, for Tony and Kurt Campbell, I'm Adam St. Paul. Until the next time.